Company.
Tonight on Ctv3 News, cops charged with murder in DeAndre Chee's death seek bail. Investigations underway after shots were fired at a home in Troll Farm Village. Toledo by-election proves to be a crushing defeat for the opposition. What does this signal for the leadership of Shine Borough? And NHI extended to San Pedro La Isla Bonita. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Friday, July 19th, 2024.
Is split between Greens aligned with Alicent and Eganot section and Blacks who support Rainera in claiming the Iron Throne.
War is coming, and neither of us may win.
Pledge your allegiance. Watch House of Dragons Season 2 on Max.
Good evening. With your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Police officers Esmin Flores and Solomon Hawa today appeared before the Belize City Court where they were denied bail as they stand charged for the murder of 19-year-old Orange Walk resident DeAndre Chi. The 19-year-old father of one, as viewers may recall, was shot and killed by police back in March of last year during a police chase here in Orange Walk town. One of the defense attorneys for the accused men spoke about today's case, which saw the Crown opposed bail for the officers who have been on remand at the Central Prison since they were charged back in March of last year.
Particular case, an objection was that the case has witnesses who are saying that the police officers, they discharged their firearm unlawfully. That in fact there is evidence to support the allegation of murder. That is always the prosecution's case, no? They read the police file and they swallow everything in there. When they get a court, they are disappointed. Shireen Rodriguez and Peter Gay Bradley are saying you can't just look at that, you have to look at everything in the wrong, the whole wider thing. What about the other matter, manslaughter? These are police officers on duty. The prosecution witnesses are saying the motorcycle that was being ridden has a defect in the muffler where you get a backfire, what we call backfire. It sounds like a gunshot. There are witnesses, they picked up shells along the road of the motorcycle, which would support the allegation that the police were saying that they were being shot at. No firearm was found, but that's not a big mystery in a case where a motorcycle is speeding around Orange Walk. I know the people in Orange Walk are very upset over the death, but we have to allow the law to take its course. There will be a trial in front of a trained judge, and we will see where that goes. The officers need not rot in prison because they are accused of a very serious offense. That is the point we from this side we want to make. Okay?
The Crown's opposition to bail for these officers, according to Bradley, contravenes the laws of our country, which does not seek to imprison individuals for a number of years while they wait for a trial to be called in their case.
You have some counsel that object for object's sake. When the magistrate court is unable to grant bail for serious offences under an unfair law which is called the Crime Control and Criminal Justice Act, some of the new judges who have come to our country, in our respectful view, those of us who engage in these matters, they have been interpreting a section of the Crime Control Act too narrowly. They do not look at it in the wider context that Justice Sylvester has done today in his court. We had these arguments many years ago. Justice Legal, who was here when he heard bail, he said that the interpretation, let me just say this, I don't want to go into too much law. The Crime Control Act says that when the magistrate denied bail because it is one of the offenses listed, and the person applies to the Supreme Court should take into consideration special reasons before granting bail. We had no problem in this country because special reasons was interpreted widely. Special reasons apply to the offense and special reasons apply to the offender. The arrival of the new judges, they have been interpreting so narrow, they actually say special reasons does not apply to the offender. Meaning, Anita, if your daughter is in your vehicle and your licensed firearms is in the glove compartment and the police happen to stop her and search and charge her for having an unlicensed firearm, even in those circumstances, the magistrate says, so we can't give you a gun and firearm offense. No, at the Supreme Court, the judge will say, you don't have nothing to do with her, whether she is your daughter, whether she's 14 years, whether she's 17, whether she was just parking the vehicle. They interpret it too narrowly and have been locking up a lot of innocent people who will win their cases when they go to court.
This matter, according to defense attorney Dickie Bradley, is expected to be called up to the Orange Walk High Court in the September session. Several shots were fired last night at a home located on Mahogany Street and Roland's Alley in the community of Charles Farm in the Orange Walk district. According to police, the owner of the house, 38-year-old Julio Castillo, reported that around 11:30 p.m. he woke to the sounds of gunshots. When he made checks, he found nothing strange. It was not until his 12-year-old son woke up that Castillo noticed pieces of wood splattered on the ground. Further checks to the home led to the discovery of several bullet holes on the front door, which penetrated all the way to the back door. Reports indicate that several witnesses saw two men dressed in white shirt arrive in the area on a bicycle. They allegedly ran into Castillo's yard and released a hail of bullets at his residence. Luckily, no one was injured. When police arrived at the scene, they recovered 7 9mm expended shells. Castillo believes that his home was targeted by 2 young men from the village of Charles Farm with whom he had a verbal exchange the night before the shooting. Police are yet to make an arrest in this incident. The opposition United Democratic Party suffered a decisive loss this week in the by-election in the Toledo East constituency. Wednesday's by-election saw 3 candidates vying for the position, which was left vacant following the passing of former Minister Mike Espat. The UDP offered up Dennis Williams as its candidate, who went up against the PUP's Dr. Osmond Martinez and independent candidate Will Mejia. When the final ballot was counted, the former CEO Martinez had cemented his victory by a wide margin of over 3-1 over his opponents. Official results shared by the Elections and Boundaries Commission showed that of the 4,670 votes cast, 70% of 3,269 were in favor of Dr. Martinez, as compared to the 24% cast for the UDP's candidate. The loss, according to opposition leader Honorable Shine Barrow, was far from what was expected. However, his party stands by their efforts and continues to work towards the general elections when it is called.
Because you can never be too confident. You can never be too sure. At the end of the day, people have a right to choose who they want to be their area representative. And if people want you as their area representative bad enough, it doesn't matter what the government spends. However, the amount of money that the government spent with all of these ministers who have these powerful ministries, tourism, land, health, education, and what they could provide for the people, they made a compelling argument on the day of election with whatever it is that they were providing for the people, and the people went with that. There was no way that we could compare to that type of funding, but we did what we had to do to at least give ourselves a chance for the people to consider our presentation.
While this law sends a strong message to the opposition, Barrow says it all forms part of the game of politics.
The historical pattern, the historical data is 2 terms. For the PUP, it was 3 terms that they had to wait for the pendulum to swing. The pendulum swung in their way, and we have to fight every day to swing it back. This idea, no matter who you put in this seat, it will still be a matter of time. No one else that wanted to be in this seat had the resources to fight. None of them.
Though conclusive, Barrow says Wednesday's loss is not an indication of his performance as a leader, as he stepped up to the plate and personally financed this most recent election.
After the general elections, you know, that is when you can say you did not deliver. And if I don't deliver, as I've always said, if I don't get to a certain benchmark, no one will have to ask me to leave. But the idea that a game is 4 quarters, but at halftime we will be down by 50, let's say, and you guys are telling me that, well, you know, everybody should just come off the court and not keep playing. No, you keep playing until the game is finished, because we have seen in the world of politics the unthinkable and the impractical happen. And ultimately, it is the candidate that wants to be the area representative, and I did everything. I spent every dollar. You know, when I reached out to donors, they said, you know, Shine, general elections, man, come in big, but by-election, how are you going to ask us for by-election money? And that's a PUP seat. That seat was won during Dean Barrow's time. So I said, okay, no problem. And I took a significant amount of the reserves that I have, and I made it available to the candidate and to the team.
So you financed the campaign with your personal fortune?
Personal fortune. And that is my responsibility, to make sure that every dollar is provided.
Friends and family of Ranulfo Derek Arceo are tonight breathing a sign of relief after he has gotten in contact with them. As we told you in our previous newscast, 28-year-old Arceo, who is a fisherman from Sarteneja village, Corozal, was reported missing by his family after they were unable to locate him. He was last seen on Tuesday, socializing in Belize City around 1:30 p.m. Tonight, we can confirm he has been located and has contacted his common-law wife, Perlita Matos.
Ayer, en los comments del news, vimos un comment de una señora que nos mandaba a decir que él lo habían mirado, que se había ido en una lancha con los mismos muchachos con quien él andaba, ahí socializando. Y después nos pusimos a investigar y llegamos a la conclusión de que sí se había ido y unas personas nos ayudaron a contactarlo allá en donde está, en la área donde está, pero allá no hay señal. Entonces en la mañana, como a las 6 de la mañana, él nos contactó a nosotros, nos llamó de regreso porque ya le había llegado la noticia, ¿no? Y nos dijo que sí, que está bien y que está pescando y que ahí que se disculpen porque él no tiene contacto como para hablar, ¿no? Eso es todo, como para avisarnos, y por eso es que no sabíamos nada de él, pero sí está de pesca y gracias a Dios pues pudimos hallarlo donde él está.
Coming up next, National Health Insurance Program now available in San Pedro. Key Cocker is next. Stay tuned.
Snackers chips are more than just a snack. They're a proud product of Belize. Sourced from corn grown in Cayo's lush valleys, then crafted with care and packaged to perfection by Belizeans. When you choose Snackers, you're choosing the taste of home and flavors you'll love. Snackers, done right, done here.
In March of this year, it was announced that the Belize National Health Insurance Program will be expanding its coverage, reaching out to Ambergris Key and Key Cocker. Tonight, we can tell you that NHI is now available on the tourist island, and Belizean holders of a Social Security card can now register as a member of the program and start reaping the benefits it offers. Earlier today, we spoke to the General Manager of the Belize National Health Insurance, Dr. Ramon Figueroa, about the program's expansion.
We are now ready to sign a contract with the two primary care providers, which is the urgent care in the north of San Pedro and the San Carlos Polyclinic clinic, in town itself. We have gone through an extensive tendering process, and for information of the public that think that you can do these things overnight, it's not. We follow a long, probably tedious process to ensure that there's accountability and transparency in the way we contract with providers. So what has happened in San Pedro is that at this point in time, we have already gone to the point where, number one, the tender committee had approved these two providers and primary care providers in San Pedro. They have already met all the baseline conditions to become a provider, meaning they meet all the standards. So we are at the point where then we had negotiated the payment, the value. And so we are at the point where now we could actually sign a contract with them. And this is what happened in San Pedro.
The Belize National Health Insurance Program first saw birth in Southside Belize City and expanded coverage to Corozal, Orange Walk, Sand Creek, and Toledo. San Pedro is the most recent to be included in the NHI program, and the Ctv3 News has confirmed that the program will soon be in Key Cocker in a few weeks. So far, 150,658 persons have registered for the NHI program. Many things contribute to a productive workforce and positive company culture, but one element that is often overlooked is access to health care coverage. In today's fast-paced world, where productivity and efficiency are key to any organization's success, it's equally important to prioritize the health and well-being of employees. With this in mind, the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital, KHMH, has formulated a new staff group health insurance plan. The announcement was made by the board and management of KHMH, who expressed enthusiasm about the benefits this new plan will bring to approximately 700 staff members.
Actually, the idea for group health insurance or staff group health insurance has been going on with the institution and the board, I believe, for many years. So this is not a new idea. This is not something that just came up. This has been something, from my understanding, having spoken to persons going on for many years. But this particular board was very adamant about it when I came on in 2021. And so they were pushing very hard for it, and management supported it 100%. And so with all the negotiation that we had to do with the insurance companies, we finally made it to where we are today.
Cancino says while the KHMH is seeking to sign up all its employees to the plan, it's a work in progress.
Well, that changes almost on a daily basis, but we have registered 408 persons that have signed up to the group plan. Indeed, to meet the minimum requirement for the insurance, we had to have 50% buy-in, and so we surpassed that, and we really hope that additional staff would sign on so that they would be able to have the same peace of mind and reassurance as everybody else.
For now, the staff will pay 50% of the plan while the institution will cover the other 50%.
Yes, right now it's 50-50. The staff pays 50% and the institution pays 50%. And so on a monthly basis, the institution will be paying anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000 into the plan, and then the staff individually pay their 50%. Sorry. No, it's just that we couldn't even have done this 2 years ago because we weren't in a financial position to do it. When in 2021, just during and after COVID, we were in dire financial state, and so little by little we started to come back up unto the point now where we could afford to give the staff this very important benefit.
In a bit of positive news, Orange Walk's local under-17 Puck team, Kinichawa, will be traveling to Merida over the weekend to participate in a cultural exchange program. During their visit, our local boys will also be playing a friendly game against the Mexican team, which will serve as preparation as the team trains to represent the country in El Salvador for the first Mundo Mayan juvenile competition later this year. As the team prepares to travel on Saturday, today their coach visited our newsroom to share more about this significant trip.
We'll be leaving tomorrow, Saturday, early in the morning. We were invited by a group for a cultural exchange. They're going to be celebrating El Año Nuevo del Maya, the New Year. And they're going to teach us how to make the ball, the rubber ball, and some more activities. And also we're going to be having a friendly game. The under-17 will be having a friendly game with the Mexican team. The main reason why we're doing it is because we want the players to have that exposure, because right now we're preparing them for the big competition that is going to be in El Salvador in this November. So we do train, and they are very good players, but whenever you play versus another country, it's a different pressure. So that's the reason why we're taking them out, giving them this exposure, so they are more prepared when they go to El Salvador.
The Kinichawa team is fairly new to the sport. However, their coach says Belize can expect great things from our local boys.
We have a very close relationship. The whole team, we have built this brother bond. The senior team, as I call it, get very along with the junior team. We help each other in training. They do play with us. We do teach them what we know, the techniques and all of those, so we get along very, very well. I do expect them to perform well. The way that I see them, they are very good players. And like I mentioned, they practice with the senior team, and we teach them our techniques, what to do, what not to do. And they do play very well against us, so I expect them to perform very well with the Mexican team.
The senior team will also be playing a friendly match versus the champions of last year's Puck competition. Starting this Monday, July 22nd, the Orange Walk Sports Council, in collaboration with a number of stakeholders in the community, are joining forces to engage students in different parts of the Orange Walk district in a one-week summer sports camp. The camp is being hosted under the name Camp Flame, which highlights the importance of fitness, leadership, athletics, motivation, and empowerment among our young people. Camp Flame will be hosted in 3 locations, starting with Orange Walk South in the community of Guinea Grass this coming Monday.
This coming Monday, we are having our first sports camp, and these sports camps are sponsored by the Peace Corps Belize and the USAID that are giving the funding for these camps, so we must acknowledge them. We'll be starting off in Trial Farm this coming Monday, and then from there we move the following week to Guinea Grass Village, and the third week we move to Louisiana.
Okay. So one particular summer camp will be in 3 areas.
Yes.
In 3 areas. All right.
Yes.
Let's talk about that summer camp. What's it all about, though?
Well, these we have given the name Camp Flame
Okay.
to our summer camps, you know, and that's a unique name that we found, because Flame stands for fitness, leadership, athletics, motivation, and
empowerment.
Empowerment.
All right.
Empowerment for our youths, yes. And we are catering from 7-year-olds to 14-year-olds. And yes, we won't turn back any 6-year-old or 5-year-olds that want to be in the camp, because these children find camps a way to go and socialize with others, and it's important for them attending these camps as well to build up that self-esteem. And you know, we have partnered with different government agencies and private sectors and the area representatives for those, because Trial Farm falls in the North Division, Guinea Grass in the South Division, and the Louisiana area is the East Division. So it's important that we take these camps out to the rural areas for our children. We know the Prime Minister had his camp at the People's Stadium, which was a tremendous success. You know, a lot of children participated there, but not all children can come to his camp. So we're taking out now the camps to these people so that they can be able to participate. And
simultaneously, on the 22nd, Camp Flame will be in Troll Farm, where participants will learn the basics in football and basketball.
We partner with Brotherhood Ballers, and Brotherhood Ballers will be out there assisting us with basketball. We know that Troll Farm has 2 sports that they are into, which is basketball and football. So we also have the Hope Feeding program that is working with us. The Hope Feeding program caters to many children in the Troll Farm, Blackwater area.
To wrap up the series of events, Camp Flame will be at the Louisiana Government School grounds, where children can participate in the disciplines of football, volleyball, and karate.
August 5th to the 9th. And there at that camp, we'll be having football, karate, and volleyball. You know, we believe that children in that area are very much into getting to this karate. Karate is starting to make a hit in Orange Walk. At the Prime Minister's summer camp, they had karate.
This is the very first year which sports councils across the country are engaging students in sports summer programs, and so children are encouraged to take advantage and sign up for the program nearest to them.
It's a first, you know, all districts are having their unique camps.
Okay.
Here in Orange Walk, it's Camp Flame. You know, we have that special name for fitness, leadership, athletics, motivation, and empowerment for our youths. You know, and getting the life skills sessions before the start of the day, I think it will be something great for our children. You know, so we ask parents to take out their kids, register their kids for the respective camps in the respective areas, and I'm pretty sure the children will have a blast. And on the Friday of each week, we're going to have a water sports day for the children. So I believe the kids will enjoy the water slides, the water balloons, and all different water games on the last day of camps.
Okay.
Once more, Camp Flame will be in the communities of Guinea Grass, Troll Farm, and Orange Walk East from July 22nd to August 9th. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Win big with Centaur. As a valued customer, we're showing our appreciation for your continued loyalty with an incredible promotion. Update your account and receive one ticket to win $1,000 cash towards your child's education expenses. Get an extra ticket for every month you pay in advance. One lucky winner for each of our 3 branches will receive $1,000 cash. Drawing date September 6 on the Despierta Belize Morning Show. Don't miss this opportunity to secure your child's education. Update your account now. Start earning those entry tickets and win big with Centaur.
Last year, in the month of December, a brand new multi-purpose complex building was inaugurated in the community of Libertad in the Corozal district by the government of Belize. The facility is now being utilized to host a number of events. But to make the area more comfortable, we understand that bleachers will now be installed. Chairman of Libertad, Arian Suazo, told us his council recently received a check for $1,000 towards the project.
Donation was about $1,000, right? The donation is towards the building of bleachers around our basketball or newly built multi-purpose complex. Right? The donation will the $1,000 will be used to build bleachers around the multi-purpose complex.
You know when this project will start and what is the time frame for completion?
The project should start anytime. Actually, we are hosting an inter-village tournament right now. At this present moment, we are at the final phase, sponsored by Honorable Ramiro Ramirez. And after completing that competition, then we will move into starting with the project. Should take us roughly about a month with the $1,000 donated by DAVCO and the support from our area representative, Honorable Ramiro Ramirez.
How is it that you were able to access those funds from DAVCO Corozal?
Actually, I wrote a letter to DAVCO in regards to the situation because we, like I've stated before, that we're presently having a competition. We have fans around the court. I mean, with no seating, they have to stand, and then it's roughly about 2 to 3 hours around there, like every Saturday night for entertainment. So just for the comfort of our villagers or for fans, I wrote a letter to DAVCO, and DAVCO quickly responded to me. They gave us $1,000 donation, which is much appreciated.
In a move to foster stronger bilateral relations, Florencio Marin Jr., Belize's Minister of National Defense and Border Security, met with Brigadier General Edgar Rosendo Lima, Reina, Guatemala's defense attached at the Carl Thompson building in Belmopan today. The meeting, described as cordial by both parties, focused on enhancing cooperation between the two nations' militaries. Oscar Mira, Minister of State in the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security, and Brigadier General retired Dario Tapia, Chief Executive Officer in the ministry, also attended the meeting, signifying the importance Belize places on its relationship with Guatemala. This high-level exchange reflects a shared commitment to regional stability and security by fostering closer ties between their respective armed forces. Belize and Guatemala aim to address common challenges and promote a more peaceful and prosperous future for the region. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Monday, July 22nd here on Ctv3 News and Face FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at ctv3newsbz. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, a safe and pleasant weekend. Thank you for watching and listening. Good night.